Kids, I hate to tell you this, but the countdown to the end of summer is upon us. Parents, before they head back to school, it may be a good time for them to get their annual checkup in. Today, Dr. Jeremy Wigington, the medical director for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana, has stopped by to talk about what this yearly visit looks like and why it's so important. Welcome back, Dr. Jeremy.
I appreciate it, as always. Thanks.
Good to have you here. And you know, I'm so glad we're talking about this because, like I said at the top of the show, back to school season, it's really upon us now, everybody. I first want to ask you, when should parents go and make that appointment for their kids? Should it be right before school starts or should it be really right now?
Sure, it's a great question. Well, it depends a little bit. Newborns to about 2.5 years old need very frequent checkups. So the younger you are, closer to that newborn age, you're going to need more checkups. But when you reach school age, about 2.5 up to, over the age of 2.5, once you're getting to school age around 5, 6, really, it's about every year. So the most important thing is that kids are getting that annual wellness visit. So if a child hasn't had one this year already, now is the perfect time to do it because they're out of school. There's plenty of time to make those appointments, get them there. Parents can attend the visit pretty easily. You can make appointments around your schedule. So now is the perfect time to go ahead and get it done if they haven't already had it.
So important to know, everybody, and of course try to do it now because, as we know, some parents wait till last minute. Then your primary care physician, your pediatrician is all booked up, so then now you can't get your appointment in. One of the big things you want to let people know about when it comes to a wellness visit is to make sure they get their vaccinations and they're all caught up. What are some of those vaccinations that parents need to know about, and why is it important that they get them?
Sure, absolutely. So when your child goes in for their regular checkup, vaccines is going to be one of the things that the physician or provider talks to you about. So the younger the child is, there may be more vaccines, and there's actually a whole host of vaccines that children should be getting. One of the primary ones is, when you and I were kids, Malik, we probably didn't get a chickenpox vaccine. We just had to have chickenpox, and that's how we got our protection. But now there is a chickenpox vaccine that will prevent that will prevent kids from getting shingles later in life. So there's all kinds of things, including things like polio, tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, lots of things that kids should be getting because these illnesses can be debilitating and even fatal in some kids. So we want to do everything we can to prevent kids from getting these illnesses. So vaccines are very, very important.
And look, speaking of vaccines, Dr. Jeremy, let's talk about that COVID-19 vaccine. As many of us know, unfortunately, we probably are in a summer surge right now. Here we go, everybody. What do you want parents to know about when to get that COVID-19 vaccine and boosters as well for their kids?
Sure, yeah. Well, our company kind of put it the best recently when they said the vaccine is the best protection against the worst outcomes, and that applies to both adults and children. So the COVID vaccine has been approved down to children ages 6 months and older. That age has lowered over time, so now it's down to 6 months age and older. So definitely when you go in to get your child's regular visit, talk to the provider about that vaccine for COVID for children as well. Talk to them about the application and see what, especially if they have other illnesses, so they have asthma, they have immune problems, even more important to talk about that COVID vaccine and getting kids vaccinated against COVID.
And what about boosters? Say, some parents out there, they're like, my child is fully vaccinated, but I don't know necessarily when to get them a booster. Do they need a booster?
Well, the best thing I can advise is to talk to your regular provider about that. Again, it may differ based on their previous vaccination history, when they got the initial shot, what kind of shot they got initially. So definitely just talk to the regular provider about that. And if you have a question, give them a call.
Absolutely. They are available, everybody. And when someone goes to a wellness visit, it's not just, of course, checking up on vaccinations. There are some other things that these healthcare providers are doing when they go on a wellness visit, right?
Oh, lots of things. So definitely in kids, it's very, very important to stay on top of their development. So checking height and weight and looking at their behavior, looking at how they're growing. They should have different milestones of development. There's very well-studied milestones, so you should be able to do certain activities at certain stages. Your speech should be developing, your hearing, And if any of those things are noted to be abnormal, getting it checked out as early as possible is the absolute best thing to do so that you can stay on top of those things if something is wrong that needs to be treated. The other thing is we often forget that kids and adolescents and young folks can have issues with their mental health. You know, they can get depressed, they can have anxiety, they can have other behavioral things going on. So all of those things are important and part of a comprehensive wellness exam for kids, so that they're very, very important.
I agree. And real quick, cost. Tell me about cost.
Should be free or almost no cost, so it should be very low cost at least. If you want to check to see what the exact cost is, call the number on the back of your health insurance card. That should get you to customer service and ask them what your wellness coverage is.
Some great information. Dr. Jeremy, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Look, if you all want more tips on how to set up a wellness visit or more information about a wellness visit, head over to the website on your screen. That's bcbsla.com. And of course, you can follow them on social media at bcbsla.com. Now look, stay right there, everybody. We have a lot coming up on Great Day, Louisiana. We're heading into the kitchen next with the new Well Cafe for a taste of the healthy and fresh lunch options. Stick with us. We'll be right back.